I like the simplicity though. The simplicity of that without judgment feels really good.
Welcome to the Soul Game. I'm your host, Shannon McLaren, the Mystic Agent. Through the ancient art of storytelling, our soul council of sensory experts,
Adrian,
Shannon,
Ruby, Amanda,
will have 15 minutes to embody different aspects of the seeker's healing request.
Loving my body and myself more. That's a struggle.
And bring about a new SOULution. Let's get into it. The Soul Game.
Hi, my name is Alyssa. I am 24 years old. I am from Westchester, Illinois. And a little bit about myself. I currently work at a food factory. It's a temp job. I am learning a lot about myself, what I like, what I don't like, what I like to do. I love to try new things. I am very artistic. I am very logical, and I am willing to try everything and anything and have new experiences and travel. Alyssa.
Oh, Alyssa.
It's the first one that came to my head.
Yes.
perfect.
That's recognized. All right. All right. So yeah, Alyssa, what is your healing request? What is the thing that you're looking to move through?
Let's see. The main one as of right now is loving my body and myself more. That's a struggle. It's been a struggle for so many years. But yeah, that's the main one. Should I go further into that?
Yeah, a little bit. If you feel comfortable, you can do as much or as little as you like.
All right. So just the gist of it, I've felt so uncomfortable in my body for as long as I can remember. I just don't see it the way other people do, like usual. But I recently have seen pictures and videos of myself from the past. I'm like, wow, I thought so badly of myself, and I wasn't even as bad as I thought I was. But how do I incorporate how I feel about myself then to now? Like, I thought I was beautiful, and I wasn't as bad as I thought it was. It's like more of, how do I think of myself like that right now? That's the hard part. And I've constantly been working on it and trying to counter those negative thoughts and the negativity that comes with it. It's just very hard. It's very hard. Yeah, just loving myself and loving my body. It's been a struggle. Struggle is very real.
Yes. Okay. So I just want to hold that for a second and just, yeah. There is a struggle of some sort around loving yourself. And just so I can clarify, you in the past have seen yourself in a more positive light, and now you don't see yourself? Or you mentioned there was a slight difference between then and now?
To clarify, it's always been the same. Like, I've always felt the same about myself. Mm-hmm. But when I look back at like pictures or videos, then I think of myself, wow, it wasn't as bad as I thought I was. And it's more of telling myself, how can you bring that to now? Like, how can you think of yourself that way now? But it's kind of hard.
Yes. Yes, I hear you. So I'm just going to take a moment to look back, sit with this experience of looking back at the self. Amanda, can you represent looking back, looking backwards?
Yeah. I totally feel a resonance with that. In that I can relate. I felt immediately related to that. A way of looking back at myself and saying, what was I so insecure about? I was like, that was so cute, you know? And I feel that sense of being able to look back and see it in retrospect. I'm really, definitely really feeling that. Feel a lot of heart energy and compassion. Feel compassion for the past.
Yeah.
So I'm having this, the thought that comes into mind for some reason is hindsight's 2020. Shannon, can you represent the struggle in loving yourself?
Well, I immediately needed to push back from this a little bit. I took more space. I don't know if you noticed that. I want more space. And the thing that really stood out to me was when Alyssa cleared her throat. She needed to clear her throat. And I saw like a need to just clear the old energy, like clear it from the throat, like and now I feel confused.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what the question was.
That's fine. That's perfect. So we have there's a little bit of kind of like a fogginess. There's a little bit of dispersion that's happening in the part of you that's struggling, that's represented or that's reflected in sitting with this idea of loving yourself. It gets a little bit hazy, it gets a little bit not so clear. You're wanting space, you're wanting it to be clear, and you're also not even sure where you're oriented in the experience of that. So that's perfect. Ruby, can you represent that which Alyssa is not seeing and hold that, and then I'm going to take you through, we're going to travel to a place, okay?
Okay.
So just hold that for a second and let me know once you have a sense of...
Hold on a second. I was about to do this. Okay.
I love this.
Well, just without getting too deep into it, just let me know when you have even just a small sense of that which you're not seeing. Kind of like the hidden, the unseen, the unconscious, the shadow, what's not being seen.
Yeah, I got it.
Perfect. And then, if you would, in your mind's eye, I want you to travel through and kind of just start journeying through Amanda's looking back. So you're journeying through back in time, back in that space. And Amanda, hold that, and we're gonna check in what comes up for you as Ruby starts to journey with this shadow into the unseen and into this part of the self that is having difficulty loving, this haziness, this dispersed shadow, and let me know when you get there, or when you start to get there.
I feel like I'm there.
All right. And now while you're there, if you would, ask your greater self, what resource can I bring to this? What would help me see? What do I need to retrieve from then to bring into the now?
I'm seeing like light, like beautiful light, like turning on all the lights in your house and in your room, like looking at yourself and just being with yourself. I'm seeing like taking a bath, just really like feeling the water on your skin, being in your body, like creating a space where you can be in your body. Draw on that bath, getting into that bath, get some roses, smell those roses, be with yourself, and turn on all the lights just have fun. Give yourself some room, some time to like be alone. That's what I'm feeling.
Alyssa, when you hear Ruby talk about, even when you look at her face, being at this place of like enjoying herself, being blissful with herself, doing nice things with herself, feeling just the experience of feeling good, how is that for you?
I honestly have been there before, and in my experience, it only lasts so long until negative things come in. It's very short. It's very short. But one of the things that popped into my head when Ruby was discussing being in water was one of the things I enjoy most is swimming, and that's where I find the most peace. And I love being in the water because you're just so free, and you'll be able to move any way you want, do anything you want. And it just reminded me of that and how much I enjoy it. So thank you. But yeah, that's how.
Okay, that's good.
But again, yeah.
That's good. That's good. So Ruby, if you would allow yourself to play in the water and just keep that going a little bit. And I want to check in with Amanda. How is it for you looking back, having Ruby journeyed through and having tapped into this water?
As the part of you, Alyssa, that can see my own beauty in retrospect, I feel that a little bit of that timelessness when I felt Ruby getting all sensual and taking her hair down, and that felt really good. Like maybe that for moments I could bring that forward into the present, you know? And I could hear how it's still this issue of retrospect versus present. And I feel that in my, I feel that then versus now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the simplicity though of just being in the water or being a body or being incarnate, there was something, the simplicity of that without judgment feels really good.
And Shannon?
I'm noticing pain. Like there's a little bit of pain, like, and frustration, and like, I want more, and I want it to be more substantial, and I want this to stop. As I'm watching this, I'm like, it's not enough. I've been asking for this for too long, and I want this now. I want these thoughts to stop.
Yeah. So I want to honor the shortness of the experience that you have, Alyssa, when you go into a good place, and then how it like quickly, or it seems to move into a negative thing. Mm-hmm. I see that, reflected and represented in Shannon sharing around the frustration and wanting it to stop. The invitation in this moment that I see is not only how water can show up physically, but I'm wondering also in this emotional and mental self-talk and dialogue, how can the element of water be brought into that as well? Is there a way that we can soften and soothe some of those internal thoughts around the shortness of it, the movement of it, and what are the qualities of water that could come into that in a metaphorical kind of way? With that being said, Ruby, one word that can resource Alyssa in the now.
think being soft with
Soft.
yourself.
Softness. Amanda, one word.
Unlimited.
Unlimited. And Shannon.
Easiness with self.
Easiness
With self. Yeah.
with self. I'm gonna say being gentle. Being gentle with self. Soft, gentle, easy.
Don't forget unlimited.
And unlimited might potentially be the most important one. Good. Alyssa, how is this, having heard all of this?
It's it feels good to just hear responses and just hear differently than my therapist. It's the whole, like, the 4 words: soft, easy, unlimited. I can't remember the one, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just everything that you guys have said is just, I can relate to it very much, and because that's definitely what I could use right now. It's just very helpful to just hear the reassurance.
Good. I'm very pleased to hear this, Alyssa. I'm going to leave you with a quote, a Taoist quote. The soft and yielding overcomes the hard and rigid.
The soft and yielding overcomes the hard and rigid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I love that.
So with that being said, this brings our game to conclusion. And I want to thank you so much for participating and sharing all of this and being willing to move through this with all of us here in this way. So blessings and gratitude for you, Alyssa.
Thank you. I appreciate all of you.
Yes.
Thank you. So good to
Thank
be
you.
Good.
What did you take away from the session that we had together?
The one thing that I took away from the whole entire session was how much pain is there, and how much, when speaking to other people, they feel the same way. And I'm not alone, even though sometimes it feels like it, but there's just, and going back to the pain part, there's just an underlying pain that I didn't know was truly there. I thought it was just anger and rage and frustration, but it's more pain than anything.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So let me ask you this. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? And I want to say in your body, how are you feeling now after you've had the session?
Well, since our session, I've been painting, so I've been sore, and my body's been hurting, but it's just like a different type of feel where I feel less aggravation in my body. It's a different feeling. It's not like there's a bunch of crap built in, and it's knowing that there's pain there. Now I know what to focus on.
Really what I'm hearing you say is you're noticing how your body's feeling now.
Yeah. I mean, I have before. I just never really correlated both. I know that pain is stored in the body, but I didn't know that all of that hate and I guess unwantedness of my own body was just stored in, it was just making me feel shitty. It's intense. It truly is.
Yes. What did you learn about yourself from our session together?
This can be healed with other people, but I strongly believe that I needed to do this by myself, because how can I do this? How can I rely on myself if I can't do it by myself? It's more like testing my capabilities, I guess. But that's what I learned, is that it's good to do with other people because they're just reassuring and positive, and they can motivate you and you can motivate them, and it can be vice versa. And it's just, being in a group is good. That's what I found.
And that is amazing. Yes, being supported in a group is wonderful. And ultimately, it comes down to you and trusting your own wisdom.
Mm-hmm. It's really
beautiful.
It's also what really makes me happy about this process is I'm getting it done now rather than later. And that's important for me because I don't want to be 50 years old and still dealing with all this shit.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more self-realization content. And be sure to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of our upcoming episodes and live soul sessions.